You ever have diarrhea that comes out like... like it's like one stone quickly after the other in quick succession. So it just goes like... just like really quickly. It's almost like a stone necklace that's like, that's like on a string rather than in a circle, and it's just like shooting out. It's like shitting out anal beads really quickly. And I can't make the sound of it coming out your anus and it hitting the toilet water at the same time. So it's like... Or do you have diarrhea that's more like... like it kind of all comes out at once. It's like a wide bucket that's like not very high, but it's got like a lot of liquid in it, and you just dumped it out, and all that liquid just goes all at once, very quickly, I kind of have mine like a fucking like civil rights fire hose coming out real fucking hard. Basically just urinating out of my ass in the toilet. It's just hitting it like... Or do you have like a big shit to come out, so it just comes out... But then as you keep straining to get that big shit out, then all of a sudden you have a whole bunch of diarrhea follow it. And if you knew the diarrhea was coming, you would have strained slightly less. But since it's like a big one, it just like hits the water like real fucking hard. So it's just like... Oh yeah. So enough of the shit talk, but I've been thinking recently, I've realized that movie trailers are scary. Oh no, this is the Halloween special of the podcast. Movie trailers are scary. I've been thinking because there's been a few cases where they have scared me as a kid. Because I was thinking of the movie Godzilla recently, and then I just watched it, which was a big mistake. But I was watching the trailer for it. I haven't seen it since I was a kid, I guess. But I was watching the trailer for it. Well, it's the teaser trailer that I remember watching as... when I saw it in the cinemas. This is the thing about movie trailers, is that when you go to see a movie, you go to see like the furries, a film about, an animated movie, but it's literally about a bunch of furries. But you go to see whatever dumb shit movie as a kid, you're like, yeah, all right. And then you have Godzilla trailer at the beginning, you're just like, this is so scary. I didn't sign up for this. This is not what my parents paid for me. But that's what happened. So I went to see some movie, I don't even remember what, with like some family members, and the Godzilla teaser trailer come up, the one where the guy's fishing, and then that whole thing happens. So it's... yeah, it's really scary. Because when you watch the trailer, it just shows like, kind of like a really rainy day out on the docks, but it's kind of just like a funny ha-ha between the fisherman and the two other guys that are there. And he's like, oh, I think I got a bite. The only thing you'll catch is a cold. And it's even got the kind of like cheery music. So I think I remember as a kid, when I was 7 or whatever, like seeing this movie trailer and thinking like, oh, this is some comedy movie. It's some light-hearted thing. Ha ha, I don't need to worry. I will continue watching. And then as it's going, like, then all of a sudden Godzilla starts coming out of the water and things. It's a well-done teaser trailer. It's a well-done moment in the movie. I'll give the movie that much. But the tension that it builds up is done well, and after a while you start to be... my 7-year-old self starts to be like, oh no, what's happening? Oh no, mommy. But it's too late. It's like you can't unwatch what you've just seen. You're like, I'm scarred for life. But what really freaked me out, so the Godzilla starts coming up, he starts like fucking up the pier as the guy's running down it. I'm not sure if I was really scared that much by that. What I was scared of was when Godzilla lifts his head up at the two other guys and opens its badly CGI'd eye. But and when I saw that, I was like, and then it goes like, it says Godzilla, you hear the big Godzilla roar, And I was just sitting there like, I didn't get enough time to not look away from the screen. I'm so scared. I'm so freaked out. So freaky. And I remember, like, after the movie, I wasn't even talking about the movie. I was talking about the trailer being like, whoa, that movie's got to be R-rated. It's so scary. Oh, there's no way that movie's got to be the freakiest movie. No one under 24 admitted. But then, yeah, I was saying this dumb shit. Like, I was saying it was, like, going to be rated RMA. Like, they were going to invent a new classification. Because they're like, whoa, when it opens up in CGI, oh man, it's so scary. Oh, it's not even R-rated. How about that? Like a film, it's got nothing else in it. It's just that it's so scary that it gets a higher classification. It gets a higher rating. I'm like, oh man, not even my parents can go see that. Oh, it's so freaky. And then later on, like I saw a commercial for it on TV, and I'm like, and then I see this, like a shot from the movie where it shows its foot. I'm like, oh no, oh, it's freaky. I've seen that monster's eye. And then I saw it was PG rated. I'm like, oh shit, I can go see it then. So I went and saw it with the same people that I saw it with the trailer with earlier, like my parents and my cousin. And so I think, yeah, I enjoyed the movie. I actually became obsessed with it. I happen to have a toy of it right next to me right now. Oh man, I've kept, I had a bunch of the toys. I really liked the Godzilla back in the 90s. But, I think I remember not seeing that eye show up in the movie. I mean, it isn't in the movie. It's only in the trailer. I don't know why they took it out. I don't think it would have been because it was shitty CGI. I don't know. Maybe. Because I think back then people would have been pretty accepting of that kind of crap CGI. It's not a big deal, so I'm not really sure. I don't see why I'd not keep it in, but I don't know, maybe when I watched the movie and they didn't show the eye again, I was like, oh, thank God, I would have been so scared. I wonder what happened I must have really done a lot of growing up between the time of watching the trailer and going to watch the movie, because I was like, I'm a big boy now. I'm going to face my fears and watch Godzilla in the cinemas. And I'm a big man. But yeah, that trailer really fucked me up. I mean, that's the thing, like, these trailers, like, some trailers have that thing. There's so many tropes. Like, some of them, like the Godzilla one, they start off like, hey, it's just to kind of get you curious about it. The music isn't that freaky. There's nothing particularly freaky about it. Maybe it seems like a little downtrodden with the rain and everything. But you're just watching it, like, as a little kid, just thinking, oh, yeah, there's nothing wrong with this. And there's, as the scary shit starts coming up, like, maybe it doesn't happen immediately, but it starts coming up, or the tension rises, but it doesn't have to take that long because it's only a 2-minute trailer, so it's really like 30 seconds of tension building, if even that, and then it gets up to the big scary and then even when the title comes up and it has to look like really dramatic and the music's really like intense now and it has to make an impact, I'm just sat there in the cinema seat like, it's just scary. Like, there's nothing I can do at that point. It's not like, oh no, it's still going, I can just hide away and run out the cinema. No, I'm just gonna be standing there like, sitting there freaked out, but it's already over and I'm just wallowing in the wash of it all. I'm like, where am I? I don't even know what movie I'm watching anymore. It's all I can think about now as I watch the actual feature presentation. And another one that's scared. Another thing that like these trailers do is they do the opposite, where it's like, this was like a big thing in the 2000s, where it's like very dramatic. Like a trailer will start off very dramatic. When it shows the opening, like company logo, and then for like one frame of the company logo, it has inverted colors, and it does that. And there's like a lightning bolt. You're like, oh no, it's like New York's about to be taken over by the Zilla. Oh, so like you can have like a trailer like that where it starts off very dramatic, but then it does a turn where it's like record scratch. Oh, it's just the dog roaming in New York. So you have that kind of thing. But even that's scary because you're like, I thought this was going to be one thing and now it's another. I've been bamboozled. I have been tricked. I don't know who to trust anymore. There's just all these tonal shifts with the trailer. I was just thinking, like, what if it did that? It was like, there's some sinister force coming to New York. And then it's like record scratch. And it's like a Beethoven 5, it's like that the dog, taxi, the dog puts up its paw and the taxi immediately stops. Oh, he'll stop for you. Jumps in the back of the cab. And then it starts going like, sometimes in life. It's got that comedic trailer vibe. And then it cuts back to like, it's very sinister and it's like Beethoven's like dead or dying. And it's like, oh no, what happened to him? And then shows like, I don't know, Godzilla roaming around New York, pushing over buildings. And it's like, oh no, it's scary again now. And that's the thing, you have this, what's the psychological term? But I don't know, where like you keep having all these like shifts with the trailer and you're like, I don't know who to believe. I don't know, I'm scared. And another one that's scary that I was just watching now was Ants. Remember Ants? With Woody Allen, everyone's favorite. Hey, I'm Woody Allen. Oh, I'm your favorite director, kids. Remember that movie? So, around about the same time that came out, and like looking at that trailer, it's like it's perfectly fine until the end, where it's showing like that big moment in the movie where they get stuck on the gum underneath someone's shoe, and they're walking along, and it just ends like very dramatically with like the chick screaming as she's like being walked around with on a shoe. That's like it's one of those things where it's not like, even if you're watching like a horror movie trailer or whatever, and there's like a bit where someone's being stabbed and they're like, like that's scary enough. But for this to be like, an ant, so that makes sense, and they're stuck under a shoe in the gum, that like kind of adds another layer of like freakiness to it, because it's just strange. Like, it seems like a nightmare that you'd have, where you're getting... It seems like a nightmare a kid might have. Yeah, being stuck under a shoe and being dragged along like, oh no, it's just like in that movie trailer. Oh no, I'm having nightmares about it. Yeah, there's something scary about it. And it's the thing about like a movie trailer is that it brings up like a conflict. It's like, oh no, Godzilla's running around town. All these ants are trying to get away from the colony, but they keep getting stepped on. It shows like a conflict like that, but there's no resolution. That's the thing about a movie. At least you get that resolution. But like in a movie trailer, it's just like, oh no, these people are fucked. Fuck you, go watch it. Obviously, to find out what happens. Oh no, will they ever make it out? Are they gonna kill Godzilla in the Godzilla movie? Who knows? But then it just, but I don't know, but as a kid, maybe you have like a different thought process. You're not really thinking of it as a commercial, like as a commercial for the movie. You're just like, oh no, what's going to happen to him? I'm scared, Mummy. Are the ants going to be okay? I don't know, maybe like some kids... I'm trying to think back on how I felt about it, but like maybe kids get confused and they're just like, I don't know what this is. Is this a short film or what's a movie trailer? I don't know. And one other movie trailer that freaked me out as a kid was the one for Saw, which was the first time I ever heard about the movie Saw. So how about that? It's become a big thing now. Wow, what do you do? But this was obviously quite a few years later, and I went to see The Village with some friends, and we were like, oh man, it's going to be so scary. I should maybe rewatch that movie because I haven't seen it since. Maybe. But I don't know how my friends felt. I think they may have been, like me, quite vulnerable at the time because we had just been like freaked out by a bunch of screamers. Remember them? Fucking screamers? The jump scare videos back in the day. So I'd seen a few of them and had been quite traumatized by them. I really had been. So I was like, oh no, I'm going to go see a horror movie. I'm a big boy. It's just like when I saw Godzilla, I can handle it. As like a 13-year-old. So, yeah, we go to watch it and whatever. And then the trailer for Saw comes up and it's fucking... At least that one, like, it's just tonally, the whole thing is just horror movie. So whatever. But yeah, even at the beginning of that movie trailer, the guy's like walking around like, huh, who's there? And then there's like a jump scare in the trailer, in the fucking trailer, where like the pig man jumps out. And me and my friends were like, ah! Like, even that was probably scarier than the fucking village. But yeah, but as I say, like the rest of the trailer, you know, there's not much. I think there was like one other jump scare in the trailer. And I'm like, oh, stop it! But I don't know. That trailer was more like uniformly like horror, like spooky. Oh, who is the Saw killer? Oh, what's he getting up to? Ah, jump scare. Rather than like, you know, switching tones and confusing me. But hey, as a 13-year-old, I wasn't confused at all. Not one bit. You know, I'm not saying I knew everything. It's just that I knew what was up, you know. And even if I did get confused, like if someone told me the wrong thing and I went to the wrong place, you know, whatever, I'd be like, oh, well, I appear to be confused, but it's really just a misunderstanding, or I have been bamboozled, or I have been misled. I see. I am okay. I will be momentarily lost until I figure this out as I am doing now. That's how I was as a 13-year-old. I was very mature about it. Nowadays, I'm just like, fuck, what the hell? I've been confused. I hate being confused. Then I just rage around the house. So yeah, there's just something about movie trailers that I just find freaky. Not all of them, but like these are just some of the examples that I have. And God, I don't know why, but it made me watch Godzilla again. 1998. Cool. Which I feel like I actually realize a lot of the Roland Emmerich movies, they're very similar to me. I have a similar reaction to them. So like this, Independence Day, The Day After Tomorrow, and even 2012. With these films, it starts off with like some kind of tension building going around the world where it's like, oh, there's a thing on its way, spooky, and oh no, we better, oh no, get, you know, all hands on deck and get the missiles ready and all this kind of thing. And then it shows like suburban family just being like, you know, you like cast of characters, a slight ensemble cast, and then things start getting freakier and freakier, and then that family starts to figure more and more out about it, and they're like, oh no, there's gonna be an alien Godzilla earthquake, whatever kind of thing going on. I feel like with Independence Day and Godzilla, it's like both very similar, and then Day After Tomorrow in 2012, they're both very similar, where they're like just natural disasters, where it's just like, yeah, earthquakes and big volcanoes shooting out of the earth for some reason, and the other one's like invaders, you know, lizards and aliens. So and I think it starts off decently. It starts off like, okay, it's setting the tone and it's setting like the characters, you know, they're not heaps interesting because I don't have enough time for all that, but it goes okay. And then I think in terms of Godzilla, it could be a bit more interesting. Like there could be a bit more going on with how they deal with that. I don't know, because they're obviously not going to like blow their load straight away. And then they get to like, you know, the tension builds up more and more, and it starts to be like, oh no, oh no, oh no, and then like, I don't know, Independence Day, they verify that the spaceship is there, and then it like starts to come towards Earth, you know, along those kinds of lines, or like they're figuring out Godzilla's around, and so and then they start showing the whole disaster aspect of it. You have like a big action scene where shit goes to fuck, and that's really you know, cool to see. It's always fun. I am a big fan of the disaster movies, and I do like to see people getting their shit fucked. So that's always entertaining to kind of see the whole disaster part of things, and like all the, you know, effects and the CGI and the quips and and whatever, all this kind of crap. And then after that, like then it, you know, goes on like that for 15, 20, however many minutes. It dies down. And then you have like about 90 minutes or more of just boring horse shit where it's just like everyone's like hunkered down in a bunker. They're just like, oh my God, we need to do this, this, and that. I'm trying to establish the connection. I think I got it. And that whole thing. And then it feels like kind of that, but it just goes on for like a long time. And I don't know. And even you have these like mini action scenes. Well, I guess you call them mini. Where like in Godzilla, they have like the the little Godzillas that come out of the eggs, and it's like, it's like not very entertaining. It's quite boring, really, and it's just like watching Jurassic Park, but done by a 15-year-old. And then, you just have like a whole lot of boring shit, a whole lot of like, not exactly exposition, but just like more stuff to happen because more stuff has to happen in the movie. And then maybe at the very end, you might get some, not really an exciting action scene, but something occurring at the end, like when they blow up the alien ship in Independence Day. But yeah, it just seems like that's like the bad thing about the Roland Emmerich movies. I really want to criticize here, is that they just get very boring and just incredibly tedious, and then I guess it's at that moment where you think like, if these characters, I guess, were a bit better, if they just had a bit more meat to them, then maybe the film could coast along a little bit easier. But it just doesn't work that way because they just have these crap characters. And just some of the stuff like in Godzilla where it's like, what, like the main dude has like, he has his like sweet college sweetheart, and like every time she sees him on TV, she's like, oh my god, I want to suck his dick again. And then I don't know why, and then she sees him, she's like trying to find him, and she's like, oh my god, you're back. He's like, I'm trying to deal with this Godzilla shit, and then she kind of gets like involved with that and like steals his tape and then tries to make a big news story about it, but that goes badly for her. So there's that. But I mean, that's not very interesting, and who really gives a fuck? The film isn't really about news coverage and whatever. You can have it in the movie, but it's not like her whole arc doesn't like mean anything. Let's just see some more of Godzilla, for fuck's sake. I don't know, let's just have him do something. Fucking hell. Because those are the best parts in the movie, where it's like big-ass Godzilla running around New York pushing over buildings. I mean, it's not a big deal. It's not that hard to work out. We don't want to see the smaller ones, and we especially don't want to see this bitch, which is like, oh my god, I stole your tape and tried to put it on the news, but the other assholes stole it, so I didn't even get to have it, and now you're mad at me, and I don't get my news story, and I'm so bummed out. I'm so sorry. Can you ever forgive me? And he's like, no, and he leaves, and then later on he's like, you're alright, because she helps him out. Ugh, it's so stupid. I hate it when like you get these like smaller characters like doing the same thing that the military people are doing, but they end up like 50 steps ahead of them. And it's like, oh my god, they got through further because they were able to communicate better with each other or whatever. Oh, it's just like an Aliens, I guess. Except it's shit. But that whole thing with her, like, with the tape, like, I was thinking, like, for her to take that tape, and even for the other guy to, because it's like a classified tape that the Earthworm Jim guy has in the film, is like highly, highly classified, and this man spills the beans, so like he's gonna get done for 250 years in prison. I don't know, he's gonna get like, I'd say a big sentence. That's like some big, what would you call it? Breach of security? Whatever the term is, she will as well, because she's the one that took it out of the possession and put it elsewhere. But I kind of think like the main dude as well, like he will have a much lesser sentence, maybe not even any actual prison time, but he didn't even keep guard of that tape very well. But then again, that particular military compound in general didn't tell him and inform him, this tape must be kept away, like if you need it, come to us, we'll take it out of a big security thing and give it to you, and you have to bring it back to us, So I feel like a lot of people are going to get sued or have some sort of reprimandation. Something along those lines. Yeah, so anyway, that's why the Godzilla movie sucks. It's just stupid. I hate it when people have like a very specific reason to hate a movie. They just talk for like about one scene, like, oh my god, the dialogue didn't quite match, and it's obviously ADR, and then the guy is talking to her and he says something and you don't see his face in the front, so it's obviously ADR, and then she says something and it's obviously this movie sucks. It's got great acting, great cinematography, great directing, fantastic sound design, a really neato soundtrack, and the script is really good. and I'm giving this one a 5 out of 10. Oh, that's great. So, yeah, I guess what would have made Godzilla better is if it were, I guess, a bit shorter. I mean, the best scenes are... I like it when he's, like, going around New York and, fucking it up. I guess the CGI is a bit outdated nowadays, but it's... I'm not sure if I'm going to say it's just acceptable enough or not just below the acceptability line. Because when I watch it, I'm like, this is CGI, whatever. It's not quite Air Force One level of bad CGI, but I don't know. And then there's bits where he's like running around in New York and helicopters are chasing him. It's like nighttime and it's raining, and that masks the CGI pretty well. So yeah, look, I'll be kind. I'll say it's good for 1998. So fuck you all, fuck the lot of you. So movie trailers are scary. The Godzilla movie sucks and isn't scary. Well, I've been meaning to say it since it came out, but I'm a little bit surprised about this. But the new Animal Collective album really slaps. The new one, Is It Now? Because it's strange, because they had an album come out last year, and again, it's just typical of Animal Collective these days, where I listen to it, and that one, along with like a lot of the other ones they've done, I listened to it once, and I'm just like, nothing in it particularly grabs me. There's nothing really there. It just sounds kind of general. There's no real melody. There's no hook that like gets me at all, and there's particularly no like, I don't know, emotional resonance going on at all to really get me. So the one that out last year was Time Skiffs, and that's just how I felt about it. It was just, I don't know, I tried to give it a bit more of a listen recently just to compare it to this new one, Is It Now? And I don't know. I mean, is there anything really that interesting about it? It's hard to kind of say because I just don't... There just doesn't seem to be anything particularly interesting about it. Like, I even have a hard time listening to some of the songs because I'm like, oh, they're settled on a melody and I don't like it, so that's no good. I don't know. And then the previous album before that, like ages ago, was with Painting With. Yeah, I think I hated some of the songs so much I made fun of them. I just thought, oh god, this is just really like childish at this point. Because really, I'm thinking, Is It Now is their best album since Merryweather back in 2009. Because Centipede Hurts, I was listening to that again as well recently, and I kind of realized I don't think there's really any songs on that album that I like all the way through, but parts of it I do. Like, I really dig the ending of, what is it? Nude Town Burnout, I think. Like, it just kind of coasts as it like gets to its ending, and then it has this like really jittery electronic kind of melody, like bouncing around. It's got like a really great sound. And then that leads into the next track, Monkey Riches, where that's the, the melody, the hook that goes throughout that song. So I like that sound, but it just keeps going on and on and on, and the rest of the song doesn't really do much around it, and there's not much else really going on with like the lyrics or anything. So yeah, even when that album came out, I used to listen to like that particular part, like let's say the last 90 seconds and the first 90 seconds of like those two tracks, and that was really it. And that's really how I feel about a lot of that album. But I feel like with the new one, it is really good, and I guess we got a bit of a taste of it with the long ass Defeat single, which I gave a listen to. I didn't realize it was going to be on like a new album, but when I listened to it, I thought, something about Animal Collective is that they some of their EPs they're releasing are much better than the LPs. They just got, I don't know, like a better tune to them. I just dig them more. I feel like at once, like, they're being more experimental on their EPs because they feel like they're allowed to be. Like, they can be a bit more, I don't know, spacious and conceptual with whatever they're trying to do. But then again, some of the songs on their EPs really slap as well, even more so than on the album. So I don't know. But I didn't know this with Defeat, and I was thinking, oh, again, like the EPs or the non-album stuff they're doing is really tops. Because I do quite dig this song a lot, but man, it's ginormous. Like, 22-minute song that seems like it has like the three stages through it, where it like really eases in, and then has like that moment in the middle where it sort of lifts a bit and has the percussion really coming in, and then kind of eases back out for like a long time to to finish it off. But yeah, unlike what I was saying about Centipede Hurts, it is the lyrics in this, and the singing going on, like the melodies and the singing, really like, got stuck in my head, even though it's like this big, spacious, glacial song, but it's still very catchy. And I just thought, man, this is like, some good earworm stuff from Animal Collective that I haven't heard from them otherwise on these other albums. But then I didn't realize, and now this new album's come out, and man, it's good to... I'm glad to say that like quite a lot of the songs really feel that way. It does kind of sound a bit like, I don't know, maybe what they were doing on the first two albums, but with a much different production, like on those where the production is like so tinny and so just like it's coming through through some sort of pain, like it's coming through like a wall, and it's just kind of barely there. It's like very underwater. But the new one's, much more like full and has more your general grounded production. But like, yeah, I don't know, maybe something to like the melodies and just how very melodic they were in a way that's like, that really gets to like a real core of your, like, it's got like a very in a way, kind of a folksy sing-song, almost even nursery rhyme kind of way of getting into some sort of like musical core in my brain. That's what I really felt like those first two records are doing, where I'm like, wow, it's just, despite this like, production, which I do like and appreciate for its own reasons, I still felt like, the songs on there, as weird as they could sound, they really were like digging deep into like that part of my brain that recognizes this as like a very, let's just say something that's just so damn catchy, not in a pop like radio tune kind of way, but like much more, deeper in my DNA than that. That's just gonna like, really play out in my head. And that's what I feel like this new one's doing. I think it's got some, even when it's, being very full with its instrumentation, or it is being more spacious, it's got a good mix of a good variety of that, like with some songs just being real quick, kind of a bit more in and out, and other songs really kind of being more of a produced piece. And yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say that, I wouldn't say it's like too fantastic. It's not, it isn't exactly a Merryweather, and I don't think I prefer it over something like Spirit They've Gone, or just the classic Animal Collective records. But I'm really, but it's also not something like, oh yeah, it's pretty good, and it is the best since Merryweather, but I'm still disappointed, and I'm still not going to listen to it that much. For it to be better than the last three albums they've made, it's not the lowest bar, it's certainly not the highest, it's in a particular position, but I feel like this one's really gone over, because I've listened to it a bunch, and it's just not something that I've done with the other three albums that I've been talking about, apart from maybe Centipede Hurts. But I honestly felt like I was forcing myself to listen to that album, or like I just put it on when I'm like, catching the train and bus and all that, and I can't be bothered changing it, although I probably did bother changing it. But the other ones, I just, you couldn't even pay me to listen to them. All right, that's me. And yeah, I don't think I listen to enough like new albums that come out these days, because I don't know, I feel like I'm somewhat in the loop as to what new music is coming out, I guess. I don't know in terms of mainstream and or alternative, but I got somewhat of an idea, but it's not like I listen to a bunch of it. And sometimes I do, and I'm like, oh, no, I don't care about this, so it doesn't really work in that particular way. But Oh, I'll do a top 10 albums. I don't think I even listen to 10 new albums every year because maybe I do, but I listen to something once and I'm just saying, whatever. I don't really think much about it. I'm listening to like just a bunch of, I don't know, just other particular shit. You know, I mean, there's a whole history of music I can freely listen to for free. That's what I'm gonna do. I don't need your new shit. You know, I don't care if there's like a musician's strike and the musicians stop making music. Oh no, no more albums from I don't know, the Beatles. No new songs from them. Oh no, I've been digging all their new songs recently. Oh, it's such a shame for them to stop. Such a shame the Beatles had to stop making their music. Such lovely music. New Beatles song I dig. In seriousness, yeah, it does sound like a real good. It's got like, it sounds very much like, you know, it would be on their later albums like Abbey Road. It's got like that, you know, it's not, it is vaguely, ambiguously a love song, but you know, it doesn't have to be. It can be about, you know, this thing or that thing. I think, unless it says something about like eating pussy in the song and I missed out on those lyrics. But it does have like that really kind of, it's a bit melancholic, and it's got that really soaring production with all the strings and the, yeah, it's not quite that early Beatles stuff where it's just like, love me to love and love and then love and love and boom, boom. So, I don't know, not uplifting in that kind of way, but not like a full on morose, morbid kind of track. Yeah, so I dig that as well. I'm glad that the Beatles managed to work out their differences, get back together, and record a new song. Oh, it's bloody brilliant. I hope they make another song. That would be nice to hear. I have no idea which Beatle I'm doing. I can't, like, discern the four of them. It took me a while because I listened to the Beatles a bunch, you know, when I first started listening to them, but I wasn't like, I couldn't look at like a photo of them and be like, oh, so that's him and he sings this. And especially when I listened to it, I couldn't be like, oh, that's John. Oh, wait, no, that's Paul McCartney. No, wait, it's actually Ringo singing. Cool, blimey. Another duck. Fish and chips. So movie trailers are scary. Godzilla 1998 sucks. And the new Animal Collective and the new track from the Beatles absolutely slap. As I'm going to do to my fucking cock right now. So this has been the day. It's time to podcast. You don't even have me on it. I don't even want to be on anymore. I just feel like, you know, I'll just do whatever you want to do. Oh, why do we have to do that? Oh my god. No, I tried doing the Godzilla scream, but it ended up coming out as the that stock sound scream. I would call it the Nutrigrain scream because it comes from the commercials. I don't know if they still have them now, but the kind of scream. Oh man, I'm gonna go eat a bunch of Nutrigrain now. Well, I can't because I don't have any. I'm gonna go eat a bunch of ice cream instead. Oh fuck yeah. Oh fuck yeah. Oh god, I'm gonna come in the ice cream and eat it. Oh god. Oh, if I worked at Connoisseurs, I would just fucking come in the peanut butter. More like the peanutter. Nut. All that peanut and peanuts and butter with chocolate swirls and fudge brownies and chocolate chip, all coated with some caramel swirls and cum patches.